have the profiles of everybody sitting in front of you except me in your program, which is fine. So I want you to take a minute and take a look at it, because I'm going to ask each one of them to share experiences, except the UN women representative. She has already shared her perspective on the topic with us already. So I'm going to give each one of them a few minutes to just share. But I want you to read the profile so that as they're sharing, you can put it in context, right? You can put it in context and then note your questions. Then we're going to have some question and answer session later on in the program. So one for all for one. We've heard a lot said about the fact that without women being empowered, the nation is actually being impoverished. That's the way I would interpret it. Because given the number of women that we have, and the fact that women are a lot more resilient, they are actually the engine house of an economy. So we've heard it from the UN representative. We've heard it from Mrs. Ibukwawoshika. She's speaking more like, hey, let's strengthen each other. Let's collaborate more. Let's remember that one is for all. Let's strengthen ourselves so that we can then influence across generation, across even social status, and we can then really become that powerhouse that we need to be. So I'm going to start from you, Princess Layo Bakare Okeowo, being the older person. We've heard a lot of old people speak before I come to my young person, because let me just quickly mention that Mrs. Aderonke Eromosele is actually one of in the mentorship group of the LCCI. So LCCI has actually recognized the need for mentorship for the younger ones so that they can learn easily from the older ones, and that would therefore increase the probability of success for their business. So I want to start from Princess, please. I'd like you to share with us your own personal experience in terms of one for all for one. How did you succeed, or what were the key things that made you succeed as a woman entrepreneur? What were the kind of networking or collaboration that you were engaged in, so that we can all learn from your wealth of experience? Over to you, ma.
Thank you very much, ma. First and foremost, we need to have confidence in ourselves. Yes. First and foremost, we need to have confidence in ourselves. Coincidentally, I'm a daughter of a teacher, and growing up, she has always told me that I need to have confidence in myself, learn to open doors. Now telling the story how I got to where I am today, when you talk about envelope production, envelope, you have internet, you have this. Is that business not going to go down in a couple of years? That thing keeps on ringing, even if I go to Europe, not only in Nigeria. So I sat down one day while browsing. I discovered that a company existed for about 135 years. And the woman running that business today was one of the big women in the US now. I sent a mail to her. I had confidence in myself. I sent a mail. I said I wanted to come and visit her. Lo and behold, this woman is about 96 now, but I still talk to her. She opened up to me. She accepted me despite I'm not an American. And when I walked up to her that fateful day in her office, "Madam, what can I do for you?" I said, "I came to learn." "You came to learn? Why?" I said, "I came to learn because there's this fear in me. Paper business is going down. Envelope business is going down. I'm sure your generation at the age of 96, you must have had a lot of ups and downs." He said, "Madam, I think the first thing I'll tell you, go and form clusters. Forget about competition. The younger ones older than you, that you are in the same business, form associations. Then you will become formidable." She gave us she gave me various advices that day. And lo and behold, I came back. I told all my colleagues about my story. We formed the association. Now we are able to control the markets. Now we are able to do our business. Now we are a force to be reckoned with. Now we are even able, whenever there is a problem, because when there was counterfeiting and there were a lot of smuggling over across the border when it comes to envelopes, we went to meet the federal government, and now we are doing very, very well in our various types of business. That is one. Then two, our children. We shouldn't take them for granted. Our children too, they want to ride jeeps like us. They want to work in bigger establishments. While running the business, I've thought about my succession plan. And the only thing I can do to make this company succeed is to move back a little bit, allow them to make decisions. When they feel, they will come back to you. Pay them salary. Oh, it's my daughter, it's my son. There's no sentiments. Allow them to go on leaves. Allow them to go to Las Vegas for their holidays and everything. You will see that they will multiply your business. I have time for myself now. I don't work hard as before, and I still do well. I still make my money because I've thought about my succession plan. And thirdly, continuous education. Continue educating yourselves. Online, there are a lot of Lagos Business School, name it. I still read. I still train myself. Not because I want to use the certificate to go and work anywhere, but I want to be well informed. I want to be in the know what is happening around me. And on a final note, we should also plan for our retirement. Because it does not mean because, oh, I've spent so much on you, I have trained you. Yes, we all pray that our children will love us. But we too, we should have something separate to take care of ourselves when we are old. Yes, our children will always take care of us at the end of the day. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you so much, Princess Okyowo. Thank you for those insights. She gave us very clear points. You need to learn from others. Look for someone who's more experienced, who's been in that business before, who can give you some wisdom so you don't have to make the same mistakes they have made. She also talked about the fact that she created her own cohort, just like Mrs. Awoshika mentioned, by creating an association. Together, they were able to advocate for changes that enable their businesses to succeed. She talked about paying well. Pay well, pay your children, pay your staff well, and make sure that you are not thinking of being there forever. We actually had one slogan in one coaching franchise I ran at the time that says that when the business cannot run without you, you really don't have a successful business. You can only think you are making money, but until they can take you out and the business will have a life of its own, that is really when you have an investment. Before then, you have a job. You know, just over broke. That's what the JOB stands for. So thank you so much for those insights. Continuous education and plan for retirement. I hope those of us who are entrepreneurs will know about the micro pension scheme. Because some of us, because we're not in formal employment, we tend to forget retirement until it is a bit too late. Meaning that you are very close to retirement now, you now start thinking, what will I do? Where will I earn income from? And some will then take the view that my children are my retirement plan. That's a very poor retirement plan. Because your children also have to live their own life before they look after you. So thank you so much for those insights. So I'm going to go to my young entrepreneur. And I'm going to start off with you from asking a question that I'm hoping you'll be able to answer from your experience. You have heard right from the president of Lcci about how women ought to be valued. You have heard the keynote address from Mrs. Beatrice Eyong. I hope I got the name right. Forgive me if I didn't. Beatrice Eyong, yeah, I did. Clap for myself. So she talked about how important women are and how we have to ensure that they create equal access in terms of opportunities for women, how we need to work on reducing the heavy labor burden. Then we heard Mrs. Awoshika. I'm just speaking a few things of what was said. And she says you have to be intentional by creating a support system for yourself in order to improve your opportunity or chances of success. Now, I haven't heard all of that and some more that I probably didn't mention. What would you say has worked for you so far? And then in addition, just mention the new thing you have heard today that you think, now I must key into this to continue to sustain where I am and to improve in terms of growth. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, so at my own level now, a lady reached out to me like last year that she has a cohort of womenpreneurs who run their businesses online, but they have a particular challenge in content creation, because we know that attention is really a currency when it comes to visibility online. So she reached out to me that she needed help in that area with our cohort members. And she knew that I have this strength in that area because most of them online stores, they don't have a physical store yet. So I was willing to reach out to them and help, not knowing that I was doing myself a whole world of good, because that gave me an opportunity for people to refer me to others. Now, I learned something recently from Mrs. Folorunsho Alakija. She said, when you are collaborating with someone or a brand or anybody out there, fine, it is good to think about what you are going to gain from the collaboration, but you should also think about the impact you are going to bring to the table. So I never knew all the while that was what I was doing. I'm a passionate person when it comes to women in business. Apart from business, I noticed that anything that has to do with women, I'm always standing at the forefront, to the extent that somebody even called me small body but big engine. So I reached out to them and I was able to help, and most of them today, they can, with confidence, run the online space on their own to project their businesses to the world. Now, drifting away from business now, I remember when I had my first child, and we discovered that he had jaundice few days after delivery. So we were at the hospital. Someone prescribed the government hospital because they have more professional hands. But it got to a point I discovered that the MD and all that, he said, I can go home while they take care of the child. I said, this is my first time giving birth. You expect me to just go home like that and just relax? I said, no way. This particular day, I was really crying. So we were sleeping. They didn't even provide bed for the mothers. And my sister had to bring a bed from the house, and she ensured that I was well taken care of. As if that was not enough, one of the staff came in the middle of the night and just tried to pursue everyone out of that area. I said, no problem. So the next day in the morning, I was asking, I said, God, what can I do? Not because of myself, but for every other woman here, because I noticed that most of them gave birth through CS. Mine was normal delivery, but I discovered that they are going through more stress than myself. So an idea just dropped in my mind. I would say it's the Holy Spirit that did that. So he said, I heard the voice said, pick up your phone, go to the internet. Who is the Minister for Health? I said, we are in Nigeria. Can that work? I was talking to myself, and as I was talking to myself, I was still acting on the instruction. So I Googled it. I saw the name. I saw the contact. I went ahead, placed the call through, and tendered the issue that was happening at that moment. So I heard again, who is the counselor or something for that particular constituency? Okay, I know the person. I Googled it. I saw the information. I got the contact. I placed the call through. Before the end of that day, they had already reached the hospital, and they queried the MD and all other staff. And before you knew it, but before they came, I did something. I called all the women. I said, I did something in order to save all your heads. When they come here, mention that we all did it. Don't mention that I am the one who pulled that. So they all agreed with me. So before the end of the day, they were really begging us and trying to pamper us and all that. And that was sorted out. So I see that whenever you reach out to other people, don't just look at what you tend to gain, but see what you are trying to impact in other people's lives.
Thank you very much for sharing that. Core message there is that always ask for help and be bold. You never know. You may think it won't come through, and it certainly will come through like it did in her situation. Now, I'm happy to announce to you that we have Mrs. Winifred Akpani in the room. You're welcome. Thank you so much for coming in spite of everything. Because we know that you really wanted to be back in Lagos yesterday, but you couldn't make it. She's coming in from Abuja. So please give her a warm clap of welcome. Good. You missed quite a bit, but never mind. I know you can always scoop. I've known Winifred way back. So it's your turn now to share. We'd like you to just share your experience in terms of what were the key principles or guiding lights that made you succeed as a woman entrepreneur? And what have you done in that space so far now to help other women progress? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shadi. Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I see a few gentlemen around. Once more, let me apologize. I really did try to come back, but I couldn't. And I'm sorry I'm late, but at least I'm here. And I'm happy that I've missed quite a bit, but I'm glad I caught on to the last speaker. You never hear, every time you hear something new, and it's quite encouraging. Okay, I think I have just 10 minutes, which suits me because I didn't prepare. So, as a woman entrepreneur, she asked, what's your guiding principle? From the day I started business, and really, that's me as a person, integrity for me is 100%. You know, when you do assessment for staff, you have integrity. You know, you can never have 95%. You either have integrity or you don't have it. So for me, that is very, very key. So integrity and dedication to what I do. And then, you know, you set a goal and everything you do is to achieve your goal. And truly, what was my goal? My goal was just to do a business and succeed in it. It wasn't about, I want to make tons of money. No. The driving factor was, here I've set up a business. I just want it to succeed. I want to be the best at what I do. And what I always say is, everybody can be an entrepreneur, just like not everyone can work in an office. I think a lot of it is inborn. It's not something you really study to be. You don't study to become an entrepreneur. You study to make yourself a good entrepreneur. But you have to have it in you. I know a lot of people that when I say, look, why don't you start, you know, especially women. Okay, you have kids, you have days, you know. Why don't you start a business? Because you really don't have enough time for 9 to 6 job. Some will clearly tell you, I can't do it. And I respect them for that. For me, whatever you do, do it and be the best at that thing. I happen to be in an industry that is predominantly male-dominated. But one thing I can tell you is, they don't see you as a woman. Somebody once asked me, you, Seth, are you a woman? You know, I said, yes, I'm a woman. I said, please, you know, what makes you a woman? You do better what women do. So what makes you a woman? And that's because they think a woman should be weaker. A woman should not do what men can do. No. On the contrary, the only reason why women may seem to be weaker is that they have a lot more responsibilities than men. Okay, and that's one thing that people fail to understand. It's not because women are not more intelligent. It's not because they are not more hardworking. I'll give you an example. I had a staff who came in as a youth corper. And when in those days, you know, I have one principle. I try to see everyone that comes to work in my company. Okay, you wonder, even with that size, I try to see. And my interviews don't last more than 2-3 minutes. I just want to get a feel. And I think that's one thing that has helped us a lot. Until the Japan syndrome came, we had retention, I'll confidently say close to 99%. There are so many reasons to recruit people. It's not the most intelligent. No, we don't recruit the most intelligent. We don't recruit those with the best qualifications, but we look for those with character. You can't go wrong with character. From the moment you walk into my office, that's when the real interview starts. Some people walk in and they casually go and sit down. Say, did I ask you to sit down? Basic manners. That's very, because this person is going to interact with your customers. He's going to make the customer feel that I'm doing you a favor. No, I didn't ask you to sit down. Please sit up. He doesn't know that half of his interview is already gone. You know, but for me, those are the key things. Most times we don't look for what is important. And as a woman, don't forget that when you're doing business, the first reaction to you is that you got there by some favor. No. I tell a lot of women, you don't need any favor. When men see that you're serious, when men see that you know what you're doing, they give you so much support. It's amazing. You don't need to have a godfather to succeed as a woman. You don't need to do anything unprofessional to succeed as a woman. If you do, that's because that's you as a person. It's not because you want to succeed. They respect you because you are serious in what you do. Even the men you work with, you'll be amazed. They practically don't see you as women, as a woman. They see you as an equal. And I think that's very important. She has asked, what have you done to encourage other women? If I say nothing, you will be appalled. But that's the truth. And that's because I don't think you are less qualified than the man. You are not. Yes, in the workplace, you find out that there are a lot of things you can depend on a woman better than you can depend on a man because of the instincts women are born with. We have it. Okay. I also happen to be chairman of, the depot and, the Marketers Association. Okay. How many women owners do we have? Maybe 2 or 3. And so many men. But I can tell you, when there are things to do, I'll call the women first because I know they are more reliable. If they won't do it, they will tell you they won't do it. Women are always reliable. You can go to sleep. If they say, sister, I will do it. With men, they can tell you I'll do it. You have to pursue them to do it. But with women are generally more serious. We might not have a lot of women doing a lot because, like I said initially, they have a lot of responsibilities. I was going to tell the story of a young youth couple that I interviewed. He was foreign trained. What does your mother do? She does nothing. So what do you mean she does nothing? She does nothing. She's just at home. How many are you? 6. 6 children. She's looking after 6 children. And you are sitting here telling me she does. You know, I was so angry with him. And you're telling me she does nothing. Oh no, ma, I didn't mean it that way. I meant that she doesn't wake up. I said, okay, your father wakes up, goes to work. Then at the end of the day, month end, he brings some money, puts on the table, tells your mom that's house maintenance or whatever. Then okay, maybe he pays your school fees. But imagine he does all that and your mother is not home when you come home. How will you feel? And then he sat back. And I didn't know, so many years later, about 10 years, he said to me that was the first thing he told his mother about his boss. And his mother fell in love with me without knowing me. I said, but that was the reality. In all honesty, your mother did a lot more work than your father did. Because this guy was very, very brilliant, very well-mannered, integrity 100%. Give him any task. I said, that's a reflection of who your mother is. And I don't think you can prove me wrong. That was a reflection of what his mother was. That's what she put into him. So don't get carried when people tell you women, that's not true. And I tell them, you tell them 35%. When people pick women ministers, you don't pick the best. You go and pick, politically, you go and pick who you want to pick. Then later I say, we gave women a chance, they didn't perform. That's not true. Once I had a HR manager female said, oh, I think we really have to look at this concept of 35% employment. I said, if they qualify, employ them. If they don't qualify, don't employ them. There's nothing extra. The only thing is that, yes, when your females start, when they're having babies and all that, yes, they'll take their 3 months. Baby is sick, they will go to hospital. You know, you don't expect them to send house girl. So those are, but you see, I've also worked with very serious-minded women. The times, the hour, if they do 4 hours, they are more productive than some of the men who have done 8 hours. Collins, I know you are eyeing me because, but that's the truth, and you know it's the truth. So with the women, I don't have a problem. It's only women, they go into labor. There was one called me 45 minutes after I said, what's going on? Is there complication? The baby has arrived. I said, 45 minutes, she was already calling me. So this girl, where did they make you? You know? And not everyone will even take 90 days, 3 months for labor. That is the stuff women are made of. In the workplace, in the career, like I said, let me go back to that. I might be in a male-dominated, industry, but there's no discrimination. I don't feel it. I don't see it. Maybe because I don't work expecting anything extra because I'm a woman. One thing though is, until you prove yourself, you have to work 3 times as hard as the men. Because there's always this thought of, there's some man, when I built my first depot, oh, there's nothing I didn't hear. Oh, is this minister that is behind her? Is this, they say all sorts because they just don't think women. And I think it's quite insulting. I find it quite insulting that you think women cannot do ABC. It's not true. And sometimes our women also encourage that thought. You want something done. Oh, a guy, no. There is, I don't know, and that's why the women that work with me, if you want to succeed, you have to work very hard. You have to have real credit for what you do. And I continue to say the same thing. Young entrepreneurs, for the women, just do your bit. Be focused on what you do. The same men you think will, you see, when you get some of this slack, it's not from men who can help you. They're usually men who can't offer anything. The men who can offer something will help you. I can say that for men. My greatest cheerleader is my husband. He's the one who will say, you can do it. When there are difficulties, say, what am I? He said, you can do it. I got into my first, and when you get into business, our kind of business, you must get baptism of fire. When I got my first one, it was, I just said, no. I said, well, no, we have this land, let's sell it and go and pay the bank. I said, no, that land, we're not selling it. They can send me to jail, I'll come back, that land will still be there. I'll walk through it. And, I walked through it, but you learn a lot of lessons. If your business, I don't know anyone, and I think I've talked to a lot of business leaders, I don't know anyone that business has been smooth all the way. No. Tribulations will come. It's how you handle them that will determine your success. Handle them, you will. And one thing I know is that women have strong character. It's only men give up a little easily. And I'm not saying this, I'm not trying to disparage men or anything, but they don't have the God-given patience that God has given to women. We are patient. Sometimes patient to a fault. But that patience pays off. And the truth is that at the end of the day, you still need the men. So you can't sit back. If you're going to... Because you want to encourage women, then you're going to have a company full of women. I'm not sure you're going to succeed. Have a company full of brains and attitude. Then you will succeed. Whether it's a man or a woman, just don't discriminate. Don't say, oh, because this woman, before she will have kids. No, don't look at it that way. Like I said, when women work 4 hours, it's why women with kids, they're conscious. I have to finish my work so I can go and, please don't be discouraged. Employ as many women as you can, but be sure that they are qualified. So that's what I will say. And again, Shadi, I don't know what you wanted me to say about the industry. I'm not sure there's much I can say. The industry is not anybody's favorite right now in Nigeria. those people that are always increasing pump price and all that. It's part of what I was called to Abuja for yesterday. But again, it's the women who tell you the reality. Okay, normally we'll have our own conversations where we say the very hard truths before we come out again and say the ones you want to hear. But at the end of the day, we have said the hard truths. And again, that's been upfront. Where should we be? Most times it's the women that are telling them this is where we should be. And then they respect you for it. I keep using the same words. Intellect is there, integrity is there. You have to earn respect. Don't demand respect, earn it. They'll give it to you when you do things right. So thank you very much. I hope I have been able to cover something.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Apani, for those words of wisdom. I hope you've written down your questions, and I hope the ushers are picking it up. What we want to do right now is to do a stretch exercise. You know, they say sitting is the new smoking. Sitting, we've been sitting since about 10 o'clock for some of us. We need us to just get up, do a stretch exercise, also try and connect with other people for 10 minutes. Then we will take the questions quickly and then we will round up for the day. Oh, okay. Princess Okiowo wants to leave. You see, my stretch exercise person is here.
Wake up. Collect your money. Wake up.
Is there anybody that has a question specifically for Princess Okiowo? Specifically for her? Anybody? We'll just take one so that we can get going. Please do not leave us. We still intend to have some fun together before we close this year's symposium. It's only once a year. Can we have the question quickly, please? How can I overcome business for beer? I know what that means. How can I equally encourage myself on business interest? Okay. What I'm hearing from the panelists, and it seems to be a common thread, is that we should just take all the questions. They want to do the workout after. I agree with you. I want to get up. So can we have the questions? Thank you. Some of the questions are not so clear. I hope that we all listen to all the things that have been said today. One of which is that you should also be ready to contribute, not just take from the other party. So I'm going to read a few questions and I'll just direct it to whoever I think will best start it off, and the others can contribute very quickly. 1 minute, please, to answer the question. So let's be short and sharp. I have a question here that says, as a new business person running an online business or in household items with little or no money or support from anywhere, how do I move on in order to become a successful businesswoman? And I would send it first to Princess Okiowo, then Winifred, you would take that on, then I will see how it goes. Quickly, 1 minute.
Thank you, ma. I think you should, first and foremost, you should have the habit of saving, putting all your money in the bank. Put it in the bank and get it out. For example, apart from being an industrialist, I also have a supermarket. And when these so-called money point, OPay and all these sorts started, to me, I was biased when they first started. But today, they are coming to beg me to come and borrow. In fact, when they told us over that we are making, I don't want to say it because we are in the public, but when they told us the turnover we are making weekly and what we can borrow, I never knew that I could borrow even without collateral. So I think the first thing you should, habit you should cultivate is to put your money in the bank, take it out, put it in the bank, take it out, because we women, we are fond of spending from our sales proceeds. I'm not an accountant by profession. I read printing. So what you should imbibe that culture of savings, not that the money should remain in the bank. Put it in, take it out, put it in, take it out. They will come and look for you and they will borrow you money. Thank you.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, if I heard that question, she said online business, right? I suppose to do an online business, what you need is some form of computing and internet. That's all you really need. That's what I'm saying. No, yeah, Shade, I'm saying that's all you really need. So I don't think that's a lot of money, but you don't have it now. That's what you're saying. I don't encourage people to borrow when they're starting a business. I didn't borrow. I started my business with less than 200,000 naira. Okay? Mop up what you have. And sometimes I tell women, there might be that jewelry you don't need. Go and sell it. There might be that little thing you think you don't need it. If you're starting a business, you don't need that. Go and sell it. Get your computer. Get your internet or whatever and start your business. I hope that answers you. Thank you. Moreover, I don't know if she's a member of the Lcci women group. Again, I think that's part of what groups like that do. Okay, if after that you are not able to, I'm sure if you approach, it's not a difficult thing. You will get help. Thank you.
Actually, I just wanted to add what Princess was saying, is that when you have the habit of having your savings, you are creating a credit history. You're creating a financial history. They can always study that history, and they can also listen to you when you come, you want money to maybe expand or do something about your business. So it is very good. Actually, they say people who want to go very far in life, they need to develop the culture of savings. Savings is good.
I would like to add my accounting cap to that question. Your turnover in your bank is not the same as turnover in your accounts. I think I needed to mention that. So yes, you create a credit history, which is very good. But remember what Mrs. Akpani said, that at the beginning, if you are starting a business, go and beg your relatives to invest in you. Do not start with borrowed funds. It makes it a lot tougher to survive. So you need to have track record for you to be able to predict what you'll be able to pay and what you'll not be able to pay before you go borrowing. So this is for Princess Layo. It says, how do your survival nuggets as an industrialist in Nigeria? I think the person is talking in regard to power supply. How are you coping with power supply? How did you survive?
Well, when it comes to power supply, there is no household of knowledge. First and foremost, I did solar, which I use it for my lightnings. I don't use the generator in the afternoon. Then when it comes to production, I sat down with my team. I have 2 generators. It depends on which machine I want to run. If we are going to run the whole factory, we have to use the biggest generator. And when it comes to the biggest generator, you have to, the moment you switch it on, wham, about 200 is gone. So you have to do a proper accountability for that, because you don't need to run the big gen when you are not in full operation. But when it comes to smaller production, we use the smaller gen. And you have to study your environment too, because at times we will not even work in the day at all if we know that it is always at night that we have NEPA. So by then, we are able to maximize our profits, because, you know, in production, the only way, especially the way Nigeria is now, you need to watch your costs, or else you just be working and there will be no profitability. So you have to look at that, watch your environment, look at the number of hours that you normally have NEPA. If it's at night, you can tell your staff to go home, come and work at night. And you can as well also walk up to PHCN, have a meeting with them. I did it and it worked out. Although later I burnt my fingers. I went to them, I said, I want them to be giving me NEPA during the day, which they did. But they later came back to tell me that I have tampered with the meter, because I use industrial meter. They said I've tampered with it, and they threatened to shut us down. I think they brought us a bill of about 1.6 million that we have to pay. Lo and behold, I paid. When I paid, no, pity NEPA, not me. And that's why you need to have confidence in yourself. When after payments, I wrote them a strongly worded letter. I'm also a member of Manufacturers Association. I copied MAN. We are on their board. And I told them that they should give me the justification, how they calculated it. They said, am I a technician? Am I an electrical engineer? I told them I'm a woman. I went to school. And I want you to give me the justification, how you arrived at that. At the end of the day, we didn't go to court, but we went to NAC, the regulatory body for electricity. And they stated their case, and I stated my case. Lo and behold, I won. I won. They didn't give me the 1.6 million back in cash, but they gave me a credit of my money back. Because when the problem happened, I didn't look at myself that you should pity me. I didn't look at, oh, that is self-pity. I took the bull by the horn. I handled it. I wrote all the English that I knew in paper, and I copied MAN. They invited us for a meeting. And later they stated the day we are going to not a proper court, but a mini court. MAN was there, I was there, our accountant was there, and I gave them the justification that they don't, even if this whole Victoria Island, they supply the light, they shouldn't give me that bill. And I won. So let's have confidence in ourselves, and our business will go on.
Okay, so a very quick one. I'm going to ask Mrs. Eramosele to start this one. 1 minute. You can go, ma, please. Just give us a few more minutes. Somebody is asking, can you please tell us briefly how you started? But I don't want you to tell us how you started. Just tell us how old your business is, because I know that you're under 40. She's one of our mentees in Lcci. So how old your business is and what you have been able to do to sustain it so far and what your core products are. She's going to answer that question, and I'm just going to ask the other people, Mrs. Akpani and Princess. You will speak also for 1 minute each as to what, just one key item that's critical to your ability to sustain your business so far. No, you will say the same thing. Yeah, just be thinking about it.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody, once again. So my business, Beautiful Fit Leather Works, is 7 years this year. But some of our qualities is that I ensure that all that we do, we run through them like A, B, C, D, E, F. And that is, I ensure that for every product that I make for a client, that number one, that they are affordable, they are bespoke, which is tailored to your taste. The C is that they are comfortable. Whenever you wear our products, you are comfortable in them. And also that they are durable and with a touch of excellence. That is the E part. Then for the F part, they are fashionable. You can always rock them anyway and you stand out. Thank you, ma'am.
So you've heard it. Okay, I'll change my question for you, Princess. Okay, because I see that you're looking at me as if this girl is mean. But I'm not. I just love your presence. Tell us, someone asked a question as to how do you market? So how do you market in your business? The microphone is there.
I market everywhere. I market everywhere. It's very, very funny. Wherever I go, I call myself the envelope woman. Because, for example, there was this, okay, 1 minute. There was this party I went to this weekend. I met a lot of people there. And I told one guy told me, oh, I work with Ministry of Justice. And I said, I have tamper proof for you. You are dealing with security documents. I'll send my tamper proof to you tomorrow morning. And lo and behold, he has sent me LPO this week that will be supplying tamper proof envelopes. So wherever I go, parties, everywhere, I market my envelopes. Thank you, ma.
Thank you. She's the chief marketing officer for the business, and she markets everywhere. Mrs. Akpani, somebody is asking this question of you. Are there times you have regretted not listening to the advice of your husband? Because you did mention that your husband was the pillar behind the success.
No. And that is not to say that every advice has been perfect. I will listen, I'll take it. If I don't agree, I'll state why I don't agree. An advice is meant to be taken, it's not forced. So I don't regret, because I would have processed it myself. So I take responsibility for it. That's what you must learn to do. If you take an advice, take responsibility for it. Thank you.
Well said. There's a question on resilience, consistency. That's one of the things we have had a lot of today, that as a woman, you must be resilient, you must be consistent, you must find your own cohort or support system and be determined and intentional about using your support systems. We've heard that you should share your concerns because somebody may actually have the solution you're looking for. So this question says, how does one keep focused and strong? And I'm going to ask Mrs. Beatrice to please help us with that.
Yeah, good afternoon. It's a serious question. That's a good question. I understand it because I have been in the business of promoting gender equality and women's empowerment for 38 years. That means resilience, that means consistency, and that means being focused. The first thing is you have to know what you want to achieve. That is it. You want to know what you want to achieve. And when you know what you want to achieve, then you have a plan. And when you know what you have, when you have the plan, definitely in the plan, you have things to do. You have people who are necessary for that plan. You heard the talk about the reference group. The reference group are those people who actually input into your life. Telling you, these are the people who are really frank to tell you, you're right here, you're wrong here, you should have done like this. These are people you listen to. But each time you always have to evaluate, you have to monitor, evaluate whether the direction you're taking, you are actually having the results that you want to have. But there are key questions that you have to ask yourself. Is whether you have the capacity, you have the competence, because if you don't have the capacity, if you don't have the competence, you have to go and learn it. You look for it. They say that for you to continuously be on the successful side, you have to be a lifetime learner. You have to learn, because 20% of the things we learn become useless after 5 years. And now that span is even being reduced because of technology. The things you know, the 20% of those things become obsolete maybe in 2 or 3 years. So if you don't keep on learning, you will find yourself behind instead of going before. So you have to be focused, but you have to be relevant. You have to know the trends. In fact, there are so many things, but let me just say, you need to know where you're going, how you're going to go, with who you are going to go, what you need to go with it. I give you one short, small testimony of my life. I don't come from a very rich family, and just 1 minute. I don't come from a rich family, but I had a plan from very small in primary school where I want to be. And so one of these days, I was in an international institute where I was lecturing, but I didn't have the qualifications. So I went one day, talked to my supervisor. I said, you know, I admire your position. Now I don't have the qualifications. I'm going out to get the qualifications, and I will come back and I will be in this position that you are. And I did exactly that. So you can know where you want to go, what you need, and you get it and you come back. So success is not an accident. It's a choice, determination.
Fantastic. I would have loved Mrs. Akwani to add to that in terms of how do you stay focused and strong as a woman in a male-dominated sector, for instance. Anything that she hasn't said, any tips you want to give to the women in the room? Nothing. Okay, good. Do you have any tips, Mrs. Eromasele, on that? Focused and strong. You know, what the adage you used, you were a small thing with a lot of power.
Okay, small body but big engine.
Small body but big thinking. So how do you sustain that big thinking?
Okay, sometimes I run back to the vision why I started. And that has always kept me going. Remind me why you started this. And sometimes when I feel down, I speak to people around who I know that they can uphold me and talk it back into my head. You cannot give up at this point.
Well done. Well done. She brought it back to this cohort and having that support, one for all for one. So that support system, I think it's very key from her response. So we're going to do our stretch exercise now. And I'm going to plead that the panelists do not leave, because as soon as we finish this stretch exercise, we're going to do some networking. There's some questions that people couldn't ask that they would like to ask you one-on-one. Please oblige them the opportunity to approach you and ask some questions and interact with you. So
just for the benefit of any new entrepreneur who might leave before the next session, one thing that always stood out for me when I started business is what I learned in accounting. Shade taught me. Bank all your takings intact. Don't ever spend from your takings. Bank all your takings intact. When you go to the bank, you must see yesterday's income, last month's income, and please don't spend your turnover. Spend profit. Don't spend. My husband could never understand why I would tell him I didn't have money to spend. He said, but there's money there. I said, it's turnover, it's not profit. And that's a mistake in the business I do. I've seen people, there was a time I used to ask them, sorry, Shade. I used to ask them, is it that we're not smart? I see people that I know, our turnover is higher than theirs. They all had private jets. If I have to enter private jet, I have to count dollars and go and chatter. Until later I realized they were spending turnover. So, you know, petrol sales is a lot of money. And they couldn't tell that there was a difference between the two. As long as there's money in the bank, you know, banks, they're very good at giving you, they'll give you tons of money. So they bought private jets, bought the best cars. But one day the chicken came home to roost. And what happened? They all went down. So please don't spend your turnover and bank your takings intact. Thank you.
So we're taking our stretch exercise now. Don't go. We have a testimony that I think you must listen to right after the stretch exercise and networking. Listen to the testimony. It would inspire you to continue. Over to you.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Hello. Are we ready to stretch? Are we ready? You're not sounding like you're ready. Are you tired? Can we just jump up? Let me see how many of us that can jump. Music, please. So I'm going to be, we're not standing. A lot of us have been begging me. I'm wearing boo-boo. I didn't prepare. If you're having an event and you don't add wellness to it, it's not an event. LCCI women, we are wellness women. Music, please. Hey. So, we're going to be sitting down. Hello. We're going to be sitting down. A lot of us have been begging me, please, my news. Hello. My news, Aria, take it easy. I listen. So we're going to be sitting down. How are we going to do it? Let's go. Sorry, I'm going to do this. Allow me to scatter the place a little, please. Stretch out, carry your chairs. Stretch out, scatter your chairs. Come on your chairs. For those of us with knee problems, I'm very lenient. On your chairs, let's go. Come on, the music now. 2 hands up. 2 hands up. We're sitting. Let's go. Hello. If you did what I wanted us to do, you will enjoy it. It's like people have been sitting down for long, but this is different. That is the truth. If you do what we want us to do, you will have fun. Because the truth is, a lot of us are having knee problems. And all of us are not young anymore. This is something you will sit down in your house and enjoy doing. Can we just sit a little, please? Please. Please. So let's go. On your seat. You're sitting like hello. All right, let's go.
Èèyàn kò gba gidi ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ òun dàkúnjẹ ń sinmi ṣe mí jọ́nà tèmi yàtọ̀ sáwọn nǹkan ká mi sọ́tọ̀ ọjọ́bọ̀jọ́bọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ nìkan lọ́kọ̀lọ́kọ̀ tó bá kọ́kọ́ ṣe tún náà ẹ̀kọ́ dìgbà fi tó tọ́nà àwọn nìkan ní ìfòsọ́ọ̀ṣì adókòlẹ́ tẹ́lẹ̀ wọ́n control anything I want to àwọn nìkan ní ìfòsọ́ọ̀ṣì adókòlẹ́ tẹ́lẹ̀ wọ́n control anything I want to ìwọ ló pọ̀jù ọgbọ́n Sadiq agbọ́gbọ́jù ọgbọ́n a máa mọ́ lọ́gbọ́gbọ́ ó sì lọ́gbọ́jù. Ìwọ ló bọ́jú. Àgbọ̀gbọ̀dù ọ̀gbọ́n àbàbọ̀ lọ́gbọ̀gbọ̀ ó sì lọ́gbọ̀jú. Ẹ̀sán wọn náà tún pọlọpọlọ. Èèyàn kò gba gidi ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀. Òun dàkúnjẹ ń sinmi ṣe mí dáná. Tèmi yàtọ̀ sáwọn nǹkan ká mi sọ́tọ̀ ká mi gbọ́dọ̀. Ọjọ́bọ̀jọ́.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Please, let's be seated. We're going to network at the end. And so please be seated. We want to make the presentations to our guest speakers. They are our panelists. Please, I'd like you to be seated. Mrs. Idowu, please, can you come up? Can we have all the presentation materials for our panelists so we hand it over to them? Then we will have a little short talk about the chamber. Then it will be open for all of us to network. So we will take the testimony then. Mrs. Idowu, please. Vivian, where are you? Yes. Lola, understand you have the presentation materials. Come and take over. We're going to do the presentations, then we do about the chamber.
Right? Thank you so much. As I've always said, your personal belongings belong to you. The responsibility of keeping them becomes yours. I urge you to please keep your phones, everything and anything that belongs to you now. Can we let's please have a seat. We wish to make a presentation to our panelists. We cannot continue if you are still standing and we have the house uncoordinated. Please, let's sit down, please. We will do well by sitting down on our seat so that we can proceed. Mrs. Idowu, please, let's sit down so that we can proceed. Please, let's sit down so that we can proceed. Director membership, please, let's sit down so that we can proceed. All right, thank you so much. We will make some presentations to our guest speakers and panelists now. Please, let's sit down. Please, could we please sit down so that we can get this done immediately? Right, thank you so much. Let's release the music. Can we please reduce the music? All right, thank you so much. We have some presentations to be made. First, we will have our past president, Honorable Mrs. Tokima Bogunje, to do us the honor of making these presentations to the first set of awardees. Number one, we have Mrs. Beatrice, the country representative, UN Women in Nigeria, to receive our first award. The first award to be presented by Honorable Mrs. Tokima Bogunje. Let's please give her a round of applause. Right? Next.
Good afternoon, ladies. I'm sure we've had a great time today, and this has been a very impactful event. But then it wouldn't have been as impactful as it was if not for our keynote speaker. So it really gives me great pride and honor on behalf of the chairperson of the women's group, the council of the Lagos Chamber, all members of the women's group and the Lagos Chamber at large, to thank you, Mrs. Beatrice Eyong, from the bottom of our hearts for being here, for making yourself available, for participating graciously, including the dancing, everything that we had to offer. Thank you so much. Everyone here is looking to have a copy of your speech, and I think the women's group will make it available. Please accept this plaque as a representation of our thanks and gratitude for being with us today. Thank you so much for everything. A round of applause, everyone. Thank you so much.
Give her a round of applause, please. Are we good? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am. You have the next one to be made, then we have the last two to be done by our father. Next to receive this award, Mrs. Winfred Apani, CEO, MD, Northwest Petroleum and Gas Company Limited. Let's give her a round of applause.
Ladies and gentlemen who are here present, we all acknowledge the challenges that our panelists, Mrs. Akpani, Mrs. Dame, Winifred Akpani, faced to get here. But it also shows what kind of woman she is. She dominates those challenges. She fights to succeed. She made sure she got here. And we are so glad that we were able to have you with us today. Thank you so much for going through all of that just to be here. You're very valuable to us. And so on behalf of the chairperson of the women's group, on behalf of the council of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, members of the women's group, and members of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry in general, we thank you so much for being here and for being a panelist in today's event. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That done, we go to the next set of awards to be presented by our father and daddy, Adiremi Alo FCIB, Honorary Live Vice President here at SCCI. The awardees. Thank you, sir. One of our panelists, I believe she's still in, or she has a representative to receive. Princess Layo Bakarokewo, MD CEO, FAE Limited. Let's give her a round of applause. FAE Limited. All right? Receiving for her.
I'm honored to be here today, as I've always been in the past annual get-together by the women group of the Lagos Chamber. I have learned a lot from not only the guest speakers, but from the panelists. And on behalf of the women group, very formidable women group of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, on behalf of the Council of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and on behalf of all the members of the 134-year-old Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I have the privilege of presenting to that unique woman whom we had the opportunity of listening to, how she weathered through all the formidable challenges to be on top of the profession. Mrs. Princess Lion Bakari Okewu.
So much, sir. Thank you, sir. Last but not the least, to be done by our father is Mrs. Aderonke Eremosele, founder Beautiful Leather Feet. Let's give her a round of applause.
A daughter. Aderonke is a daughter to me, but a daughter with courage, a daughter who has made up her mind from the beginning to be a success. In a country where even the elderly ones are shivering, she is not shivering. Adenike, I was very impressed because when you started talking, I was reminded of the only daughter I have among my 4 children. And as I was walking in this morning, she was phoning from Abuja. Daddy, where are you? And I said I was going to the women group. I said, no, you love the women. So thank you. Thank you, Adenike. Continue to do what you are doing. The sky will not be the limit. As you are succeeding in your entrepreneurship, you are sending messages to those people who think they are weaklings, but they are not. Continue doing what you are doing. It is well with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Asked to be done. I believe that prayer was from a fatherly heart, and I believe God will answer. Now, last to be done is to our guest speaker, Mrs. Ibukuna Woshika, Chairman, Chair Center Limited, to be received by one of our honorary vice president here at the chamber, Chade Babemtin Young. Let's give her a round of applause.
Well, this is a unique honor to me because myself and Ibukun, we've been very close for many years. Because 2 of my grandchildren went to the school where she was a chairman of the board. And since then, even when she went to First Bank, I had the opportunity of talking to her, and with my wife too, was a banker. So presenting this to Ibukun, as I always call her, our talk this morning was very educative. Even for an 86-year-old man, I gained a lot from what she said. She was always making sense. She's always been a motivator par excellence. And on behalf of the women group, of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, on behalf of the Council of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and all the women of the Lagos Chamber, it's my pleasure to present this token gift to Mrs. Ibukun Awoshika.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
Can I just say what an honor it is and a pleasure it is to receive this reward on behalf of Ibukun. We have been in the trenches for many, many years. And I was looking forward to seeing her and hugging her today. But even through, although she was online, you know, she came through, didn't she? We all felt her, and that is Ibukun. And may I just thank her for what she has been to so many of us, older and younger. And I wish her every success. She will continue to inspire us and inspire us to continue to inspire others. All for one and one for all.
Thank you so much, sir. Right. We are moving very fast to the close of today's event. But just before we do, let me bring to the podium for a brief talk about the chamber, 135 years old chamber, and a few things you need to know about the chamber in case you do not. Mrs. Abosede Okeyemi, she is the director, membership relation at the SCCI. Let's give her a round of applause for our presentation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, what a successful event. First, all protocols duly observed. Please, I would really love to have one voice so that we can hear this part. It's very, very crucial. Please, can we have everyone seated, please? Thank you very much. And firstly, I would like to congratulate the women for a very fantastic, impactful event. Please, can you all give yourself a round of applause, please? Thank you very much. Because of the time, I have only 5 minutes, so I will just dive right into it. And I'll briefly talk about the chamber. Okay. The Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry was founded in 1888. We are the leading private sector organization whose primary objective is to promote and protect the interests of the members. We all are members here. We are all seated here together because of one program. And the business community at large through policy advocacy, the provision of business development services, promotion of the highest standard of business ethics. We represent the opinion of the business community on matters that impact the investment environment and its economy. So I think the next question is why are we here? Why do you think that the chamber is the right place for you, your business, and for your environment? Some of the major benefits for joining the chamber, which I am here to speak to non-members. If you're not a member of the chamber, I think this is a very crucial opportunity for you to please listen, and you can understand that the chamber provides numerous benefits. One of it is why we are here. We are here to network. In as much as we just had the guest speaker deliver a very fantastic speech, but then again, we need to be aware that we all as women, we are here for one voice. As the topic says, one for all and all for one. We are here to network. We are here to meet each other. We are here to share our ideas and our businesses. This is one very important benefit of joining the Chamber's membership. And also we have several others. We have the inward and outward trade missions. The Chamber has so many trade missions available. We have bilateral trade agreements with so many countries. So if you're looking at exporting, you are looking at accessing business opportunity outside the shores of Nigeria, please, the Chamber is the right place. If you're looking at accessing countries like China, you're looking at Vietnam, we have so many portfolios that will benefit your business. So I will really appreciate it, and I will look forward to seeing each one of you that are looking at expanding the shores of your business outside the country. And also, very importantly, the Chamber has, we are currently having our trade fair. I think I will just speak a little bit about it. The trade fair is coming up next month. We have just a few weeks into the trade fair. It's on the 3rd to the 12th of November. It's a 10-day event. And this trade fair is not just like the normal trade fairs we have. It's a trade fair that is bigger and better. We'll be connected. You have opportunities to speak to a lot of international partners. There'll be B2B exchange. There'll be access to international and local trade partners. Aside exhibition, you would also have direct sales at the trade fair. So we are really looking forward to meeting each and every person in this hall at the Lagos International Trade Fair. It's at the Tafawa Balewa Square. I believe that an envelope is on each and every table. Please kindly pick that envelope. The address, the information about the trade fair is on it. We are looking forward to you to exhibit at the trade fair. We are looking forward to supporting your business. Each and every one of us, we have different needs while we are at a particular event. But the trade fair is the brain behind it. It will support your business, give it visibility. It will also give you access to partners and connections. The Chamber has so many other benefits. You are looking at embassy reference. You are looking at, you want to travel and you are having challenges with your documentation. Come to the Chamber, come to us. We will give you a letter of introduction so that we can support your business. Certificate of origin too is available for members who are in the export space. And also, we have business and education training, mentoring program for those who are looking at capacity building. And that is one area that Chamber is really so focused on. We are focused on capacity building, expansion. So we have a lot of learning programs that will benefit you as an SME, you as a business owner, as you want to train your staff. Please, the Chamber is available. The Chamber is the right place to give you that knowledge, to give you that mentoring program, to be able to make you, to give you the opportunity to give learning to your staff. Please, we look forward to having you connect to us, and we will support. One very important thing, we always say that you want to join the Chamber, the documents are very straightforward. It's not deep, it's not too difficult. You have a form. We have our forms on our website. You can easily download our membership form. You can also download our sector form. I always say something. When you join Chamber and you are not a member in the sectorial group, you are not going to have a benefit. So you have to belong to a sector. You either belong to the financial sector, you belong to the insurance sector, you belong to the agro space if you are into agric, if you are a farmer, you are into exporting. Please, very importantly, while downloading the forms, also download the sector form. My colleagues are outside the door. They will also give you the forms for you to fill. Please, while you are completing the form, always importantly, attach your certificate of incorporation. We need your CAC, It is a major prerequisite to show that you are registered here in Nigeria and you have an office, and the evidence of payment determine whichever category that you belong. My office is open. My name is Abosede Okeyemi. I will share my business card so that I can give you further insight and guide you into the right category that you need to join. It depends depending on where you want to find your footing. But then again, please be rest assured that we are here to give your business a lift. We are here to support your business. So for those who have not joined the chamber, this is the right time. As we are celebrating the 135th anniversary, every sector is delivering a mega and big project. We have several events lined up, and for our members to see value in joining the chamber. So please harness this opportunity. It is a one-time opportunity. Please don't let it go. For non-members, please see me. Let's guide you through the process. Let's give your business a new lift. Let's support your business. Let's help you as an organization. If it's connection you're looking forward to, is the chamber. If you're looking for partners, is the chamber. Funding, access to funding, it is the chamber. Please, I'll be waiting to meet each and every one of you. Thank you very much, and do have a lovely day.
Thank you so much. Let's give the director another round of applause, please. Thank you. We are almost done for the day, but just before we have the vote of thanks, let me encourage us to please take a look at the outside door. We have an exhibition center there. You will find what you need, I can assure you. By the time we are stepping out, please let's take our time to move around there, buy, encourage those who come to display their products, basically for us. Thank you so much in advance for doing that. For the board of thanks, we have the deputy chairperson, women's groups here at the SCCI, is Oluwafunmilayo Oduwaye for vote of thanks. Let's give her a round of applause as she comes in for a vote of thanks.
Hello. Good afternoon, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Before I start my vote of thanks, we request that we all give ourselves a big round of applause for attending this historic event. It's been an exciting and interesting time we have spent. So on behalf of the President, Asiwaju Dr. Michael Olawaleko, CON, Director General Dr. Chumere Almona, ESCO members and ESCO members of the Lcci group, we express our immense gratitude and a heart full of appreciation as we bring this remarkable Lcci Women Group Annual Symposium to a close. It has been an enlightening and empowering event with the theme One for All for One, serving as a beacon of unity, collaboration, and progress. First and foremost, we extend our heartfelt thanks to all the distinguished speakers, Mrs. Beatrice Eyong, Country Representative, United Women Nigeria, Mrs. Awoshika, Founder and Chairman, Charles Center, and all our panelists, Mrs. Dame Winifred Akpani, MDCO, Northwest Petroleum and Gas Company Limited, Princess Layo Okewo Bakari, CEO, Fair Limited, Mrs. Adenike Edemosole, Founder, Beautiful Fit Leather Works, and experts who grace us with their wisdom, insights, and experiences. Your valuable contributions have undoubtedly enriched our understanding of various aspects of trade and entrepreneurship. Your dedication to empowering women. Hello. Okay. Your dedication to empowering women in business is truly commendable. I also like to express our deep appreciation to all our council members, life presidents, and chairmen of sectoral group, special guests, and distinguished participants, attendees, present, both physical and virtual. Your active engagement, thought-provoking questions, and enthusiastic involvement have created an atmosphere of shared learning and growth, embodying the spirit of all for one. You have all been an amazing audience. Your presence has added tremendous value to this symposium. We are much grateful to all our sponsors and partners, Northwest Petroleum and Gas Company Limited, Airtel, and all other donors for their generosity and support for this event, making it possible for us to provide a platform for women entrepreneurs and professionals to connect, collaborate, and thrive. Your commitment to gender equality and economic empowerment is exemplary. Our sincere gratitude to Area Wellness Hub Limited for that wonderful workout and performance. And this has added some fun to this event and also engages our aging process. Your performance were not only delightful, but also a testament to the creativity and talent that women bring to every field. Our heartfelt thanks to members of our program committee, finance committee, welfare committee, and publicity committee, and all that volunteers who worked tirelessly behind the scenes to ensure the smooth execution of this symposium. Your dedication and hard work have not gone unnoticed, and your passion for the cause is inspiring. Lastly, but not the least, a big thank you all to all the women, entrepreneurs, and professionals who are the driving force behind this symposium. Your determination, resilience, and dedication to excellence are the embodiment of one for all. We salute your hard work and achievements. In conclusion, this women group symposium has been a resounding success, and it is because of the collective efforts, commitment, and unity displayed by everyone involved. As we move forward, let us remember the theme that has guided us through this journey: one for all for one. May it continue to inspire us to support, uplift, and empower one another in our business, professional, and personal lives. Thank you once again for your participation, enthusiasm, and commitment to the cause of women in trade. We look forward to future collaboration and endeavors that will further strengthen our bonds and achievement of and advance our shared goals. Let us live here today with renewed determination and knowledge that together we can create a brighter and more inclusive future for all. God bless you all. Thank you and safe travels.
Thank you so much, Madam Deputy Chair. You did very good justice to that board of things. On that note, we are officially closing for this event, but just before we step out, I want to reiterate again that you need to keep your personal belongings now that we want to begin networking and exchanging contact and see how we can benefit from each other's businesses. This is very important. And on this note, I'd say thank you and welcome. All right, I thought we've taken pictures. Okay, pictures, selfies, and all of that. This is now the time. Please, let's all join Madam Chair for the pictures she wants. Thank you so much.
Alternate sound.
Sun God, no king of all kings. Been here too long, I need to see more things. I need a new beginning, my pocket need a shilling. Without him I fall, with him I do all things. Sun God, no king of all kings. Here too long, I need to see more things. I need a new beginning. My pocket need a shilling. Without him I fall, with him I do all things. Ukapenda za bure peke atokea naye kupata bure kwake upotee potea njia ya kwenda shule usinisome matime pia bora unyamazo usijichome tukiongea bizu nilete manki na kuchorea only if umetoka mbali ndo utanielewa ikamsa shit kishi hapo chali ama kwa jela masinia wako pia wanajua nani fadhela fadhela to stand God the king of all kings been here too long I need to see more things I need a new beginning, my pocket need a shilling. Without him I fall, with him I do all things. Fadhela, thank God the king of all kings. Here too long, I need to see more things. I need a new beginning, my pocket need a shilling. Without him I fall, with him I do all things. Yes.
That was just the intro. Don't get ahead of us. We're coming one time tonight. Hey. Nairobi, what's good?
Baby tumejiseti we on the highway tukafunga breki tukaanza bishana ask who is Diana vipi mnajuana I swear tumejibetray baby tumejiseti cause love isn't here right now I guess we'll never know mali hii story ingeenda tumalize baby siandike baby situshike I don't wanna have you couple sawa miko sawa akizile vitu tulipanga ukanishukisha namba nachona misi hiki sana ile misa kabisa akizile vitu tulipanga
we just get started tonight. Say.
Nasikia kelele kwa jirani, swali ni vita ama ni raha gani? Mwingine anasema mwingine anasema kwani mapenzi megeuzwa kwa kumfuna vile kwa kumfuna kama Franco itanifanya niwe watoto wananibaina
Alternate sound.
Vita vya kijinku kabla miji yanze tongota tuka tumefungana pingu kitanda okelo mano kumfu wai mama kama nyoka anakonda wai mama
You're in the mix with DJ Big N. Real big.
Steady your phone. I wanna take a picture so this will last longer for me. Take my got them like precious money. I never want to hear you quiet, so I write songs for you. And I believe, I'm falling for you like a thief. Just when I see you, I feel to the keys to your heart. Yes, I believe, I'm falling for you like a thief. Just when I see you, I feel to the keys to your heart. My baby, My baby wants up beside us. My baby wants up beside us. My baby bad. My baby good. My baby things I need. My baby wants up beside us.
Somebody call me back some more time.
Talk about him and pick up your chest, I swear. If you don't get money, they kill and dead. When I face my fears, there's nothing I can do from here. For my first day, I make mistakes, I swear. For none of that, sacrifice my fears. And I stand right here. I say I'm better and you can't compare.
Yes, sir. Somebody send them out to all my lady. One thing.
Alternate sound. Get you there for me. Alternate sound.
You don't know why you give love to me. Me not be wrong, but you show me love. Make me cling on to you. Baby, I become my phone open. Telling you what the secrets I be keeping. Love, I tell me, baby, sliding and dipping. Give me your heart, make me keep it. Love what you do, that. Stop gonna love me, shower me. Me not be for temporary. I'm gonna love you from January till December, maybe forever. I could have swear that I will not ever. You do bring love, person dot down.
He wants a gangster in a bed tonight. She wants me, I know. Lady, I'm gonna a full ground me a day tonight. She a calling my phone. Oh, she say why you so unruly. Tell me the main reason you want to move me. The man with a ED, curious girl, she got questions for me. That booty and wine for me, so crazy you drive.
Watch the